Hap Arnold, Julie Spots, Ira Aker. They were the young Air Corps.
In 1929, Curtis E. Lemay realizes his dream. He receives his wings and is assigned to the 26th Pursuit Squadron.
It dawned on me that the big punch in military aviation was in bombers and not fighters, and I better know something about bombers. So I requested an assignment to a bombardment unit, and it was granted. That started me off the bombardment business.
Lieutenant Lemay transfers to Langley Field, Virginia.
Well, all during this time, the leadership of the Air Force was trying to sell air power to the War Department, as well as to the public, as well as learn something themselves about it.
1938. 6 B-17s, half of the 12 flying fortresses in the Air Corps, fly a 10,000-mile goodwill mission to Argentina and back. First Lieutenant Lemay is called upon to navigate his craft using experimental navigational aids. He proves them accurate and successful. Rising political turmoil in Europe prompts President Franklin D. Roosevelt to say, "I want planes, now, lots of them." The American people respond. December 7th, 1941. Pearl Harbor is bombed. America goes to war on two fronts. The 8th Air Force's B-17 missions flying out of England are suffering heavy losses over Germany, while inflicting far too little damage. The young commander, Colonel Lemay, and his inexperienced crews of the 305th Bomb Group have just arrived at Prestwick from the States. The colonel has risen from first lieutenant in less than 2.5 years. He is bold and confident. He studies the bombing tactics being used and their marginal results, then devises the box formation. This new strategy totally contradicts the one in use. Veteran aircraft commanders are skeptical. Lemay leads the first mission using his revolutionary tactics. His daring new approach, flying tight formation to minimize exposure to fighter attack, combined with straight bombing runs to improve accuracy, works. Losses are reduced, and the bombs hit their targets. The Third Reich is falling. Lemay is promoted to Brigadier General 28 September 1943, and the following July is transferred to India as commander of the 20th Bomber Command. His superiors need fast results from the as-yet unproven B-29. Many aircraft experience engine failure, resulting in forced landings or crashes. In effect, he is told, if you don't get results, you'll be fired. Also, there will never be any strategic air forces of the Pacific. As Lemay's maintenance crews struggle to improve the reliability of the 29's engines, he studies the advantages of flying at lower altitudes. Intelligence reports show that Japan is currently defended by heavy, high-altitude flak guns, which would prove ineffective at lower altitudes.
And to lighten it further, to get more bombs on board, we took out the guns, because I didn't expect any opposition from Japanese night fighters to mount anything. And the crews weren't particularly trained in night flying, and I was more afraid of them shooting each other than I was of Japanese night fighters. So I decided to take the guns out, and I took the gunners out too.
The repercussions of these decisions reverberate all the way to Washington. Even Lemay's own staff believe him wrong. But his instinct and logic prove correct. The recon photos show conclusively that 16 square miles of Tokyo have been destroyed. The Japanese, surrender, 14 August 1945. As Air Force Deputy Chief of Staff for Research and Development, he fights for a strong Air Force. He is among the first to visualize a mixed force of missiles and manned aircraft.
George Washington, our first president, advised us the best way to stay out of war is to be prepared for it.
April 1948. The Soviets blockade Berlin. Lemay's USAFE command, under the code name Operation Vittles, makes 275,000 flights, bringing more than 2 million tons of food, coal, clothing, and medical supplies to a besieged Berlin.
It was inspiring because it was a use of air power to augment diplomacy in a peaceful way. You weren't killing anybody, you were saving lives and saving them for democracy.
In the fall of '48, General Lemay takes command of SAC. All through the 9 years of its transition from B-29s and B-36s to jet B-47s, B-52s, and a mixed force of manned aircraft and missiles, SAC was a full and complete expression of the Lemay philosophy. It is not surprising that General Lemay would go on to reach the highest position of the Air Force.
He was one of the most distinguished combat commanders in World War II. He played a most instrumental role in developing SAC into its present high peak as the great shield of the United States in the free world. So, General, we want to say that speaking personally and also as President, that it's a great pleasure to welcome you as the new Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force and a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
General Lemay retired from active duty February 1st, 1965. He left President Lyndon Baines Johnson with these words: "I leave behind the best air staff that I have ever seen assembled, and the best group of commanders in the field that can be possibly procured."
Your action call, Mr. President.